So people are saying that Nate Diaz and Khamzat Chimaev are going to fight at some point. I'm excited for that fight. You know, people are saying Nate Diaz has 1 fight left, 2 fights left. He's done. He needs to fight Conor McGregor. I disagree with all that, you know. I think it's only fitting if he fights Khamzat Chimaev. I'll tell you why. They both have a lot in common. They both talk a lot of trash. They're both very cocky. They're both great fighters. Nate Diaz was that same guy 10 years ago. He would fight anybody on the spot. It didn't matter if it was in a cage or not. He'll slap you, he'll punch you, he'll talk trash right to your face and say, hey, let's go, man. Let's swing. Let's go. You know what I mean? You got to respect that. And you got to love that out of fighters, especially when that's part of why they sell and why they're worth so much money. And they both have made money with the UFC. They're both big stars in the UFC, and they're both fan favorite fighters. So I think it's kind of a passing of the torch fight for Khamzat Chimaev to win that fight. For Diaz, he wants to, I wouldn't say he has nothing to prove, but he would like to prove to everybody, hey, I'm not done. I can still not just hang with the baddest guys, but beat them too, because Nate Diaz has a really good skill set, obviously. His track record at welterweight's pretty decent. That's where he submitted Conor McGregor and kind of exposed Conor as a beatable guy. Not a bad fighter, he's still great, but you know what I mean at the time, because he went on to win another world title from Eddie Alvarez. There's 2 possible outcomes for this fight. I doubt it's going to be a decision. See, for Khamzat Chimaev, he needs to utilize his wrestling better than when he did with Gilbert Burns. He took way too much damage in that fight. If he uses his wrestling more, and when they're standing, he hits him when he needs to take Diaz down and utilize the ground and pound and just avoid submissions. I know he can do that. And he needs to finish off Nate Diaz. He needs to make a statement. The problem with Leon Edwards is he dominated the fight, but he didn't finish off Diaz. Diaz even hurt him at one point late in the fight. So that tells you Diaz was never out of that fight. He needs a statement win over Nate Diaz. I think the only time he's been finished ever was Josh Thompson 9-10 years ago with a head kick on Fox. Other than that, people win decisions over Nate Diaz, which is not unimpressive, but if you want to be a star, you really want to make a name for yourself, you need to flat out finish a guy like Nate Diaz. Khamzat Chimaev can do that. He can finish him in the 2nd or 3rd round, wearing him down with strikes and use the grappling. Not impossible to submit Nate Diaz, but come on, he's got a BJJ black belt, so unlikely. Nate Diaz can finish this fight. Khamzat has shown before that his vulnerabilities are not fighting smart strategically. He fought Gilbert Burns in a fist fight. He gave Gilbert a chance to make that a fight and possibly win that fight. Nate Diaz is a scrapper. He's hoping for Khamzat to want to do that. Khamzat probably will do that because he's a young fighter. He's still going to make mistakes, and he's still not, you know, he has a lot to learn, obviously, but he can win a scrap with Diaz. But Diaz can too. That gives Diaz a chance to win that fight because he doesn't mind getting hit, and he's very, very durable. Like I said, other than the head kick knockout from Josh Thompson, nobody's really been able to put away Diaz on the feet. Neither Conor McGregor. We all know how dangerous Conor is on the feet. My point, you know, Jorge couldn't quite put him away. He got a doctor stoppage win, but he never knocked him out. You know, that tells you how tough and durable Nate is, and Nate can dish out a beating. And again, even if Khamzat takes down Diaz, Diaz has that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. There's always that big chance that he can submit Khamzat somehow. So I think this is going to be a very explosive fight. This is an exciting fight. If not a main event, at the very least a 5-round co-main event at welterweight. My pick? Khamzat Chimaev, but Nate Diaz can win this fight, and I'll make a video about that later. I got Khamzat winning this fight in the 3rd round by TKO. I just think he's just too powerful. He's going to take advantage of a Nate Diaz who's not quite at his best anymore in his prime. I'm not saying he's done, but there's a certain level where fighters hit their peak. I think Diaz's peak was 15, 16. And I think at some point they all just start to go down like Cain Velasquez did. Anthony Pettis has kind of gone downhill. Fedor Emelianenko has gone downhill. So it's kind of a compliment to Nate Diaz. Again, not a fight Diaz can't win, but I'm not picking him to win. I think it's Khamzat Chimaev's time to shine. And if he fights smart strategically and picks apart Diaz and his power and his wrestling, he can do it.